My dream was to conquer Hollywood and become a famous actress. For it I did not hesitate to left behind my status as a billionaire's daughter to become a maid. But my journey as a maid was not a smooth one. I even had to meet the actor I hated most frequently. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought I'd become obsessed with this nuisance in the process. Although I have always been very serious and enthusiastic about acting. With no experience, I was unsuccessful in my first audition. Everyone thought I was an unlearned woman. How could I understand the role of a maid? To top it all off, Francis, one of the most famous directors in the biz, had a very bad impression of me. If I don't find a way to make him change his mind, I won't be able to survive in this circle. So, I entered Francis' house as a maid. On my first day at work, I offended Francis' daughter Betty. She was not an easy person to live with. From then on, I never had a good day. As long as she was home, she took pleasure in torturing me every minute of the day and night. On this day, I was punished by Betty to clean the library, just as I almost fell off the ladder. A steady, strong hand caught me. At first I thought it was a burglar who had sneaked in, because he was wrapped up like a glutinous rice dumpling. When I questioned him, he took off his protective gear and revealed his unique looks. But sadly, although he was the hottest actor of the moment, he was also the actor I hate the most. His name was Elijah. Contrary to me, Betty was his huge fan. It was because of this that my life became more and more difficult afterwards. For example, once I almost slipped. Elijah pulled my shirt to prevent me from coming into close contact with the ground. As my clothes were torn, Elijah even put on his own clothes for me. This scene was seen by Betty. And naturally I became guilty of seducing Elijah. I got up in the early hours of the next morning to make a cake. By the time I had finished, Betty had snatched my apron, claiming that she had made the cake for Elijah herself. But she obviously didn't know that Elijah was allergic to almonds, or that there were almonds in the cake. I quickly reminded her. Betty was angry. She forced me to make tea. She kept knocking on Elijah's door. He ignored her completely. She got angry and broke the tea set I brought, so I had to pick up the pieces and clean up the mess. I accidentally cut my hand. Suddenly, Elijah came out and pulled me into the room. He helped me to treat my wound. I thought I hate him, but his gentle gestures and deep eyes had me mesmerized for a moment. This weekend, the directors were having a small party for the film crew. I was put in charge of the cocktails because I bragged about being a bartender. When I applied for the job, as I was mulling over the cocktail, Elijah came over. We both talked excitedly about the recipe for the drink. As it turned out, he wasn't as obnoxious as the media portrayed him to be, but rather kind of cute, just as I was in a drunken daze. Elijah actually professed his love to me. He lifted my chin and kissed me. This scene was just in time for Betty to see. She almost freaked out. When I sobered up, she threatened me with my passport. She wanted to expose that I was not a maid, but the daughter of a billionaire. Did she think I would be afraid? I had enough of being the target of her bullying. From today onwards, I will be the master of this game.